you start recording.
Okay. We're good.
Is it recording? Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for hopping on tonight. We have a special guest, Mary Beth Dodd. She is our field development team from corporate, and she's actually been in the development team from corporate, and she's actually been in the field. Oh, that was weird. Did you hear that?
It came because she unmuted herself. I think like it's somehow back. So just go ahead. And then
okay. Anyway, Mary Beth is from our field development team from our corporate office, and she's actually been in the field for a while before she went to the corporate side of It Works. But she's just volunteered we asked her if she would share with you guys tonight just some, inspiration. And I know some of you guys are new, and, maybe you're looking for, a little bit more like inspiration, what you should be doing. And just this is a simple business, and she's going to share with you guys just how simple this business is, and how a lot of times we just overthink what we should be doing on a daily basis, or what our day and what our success should look like. And so she's just going to chat with us for a little bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to chat with us in the chat option. Mary Beth is amazing. We've had the pleasure of meeting her several times. She actually came to our One Team, One Mission in Montgomery several months ago, and she's very sweet. She's a mom of 4 boys, and I'm just excited for her to chat with us for a little bit. So, Mary Beth, you are muted. If you can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so excited, you guys. I am almost home. I had a thing at church tonight, so I'm sorry that I'm dark right now, but as soon as I can get inside and get situated, I will make sure that you can kind of see my face too. But thanks for having me, girls.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this for us.
Absolutely. It's so fun, and I had a blast getting to know you guys, and I can't wait to do some more events with you guys in person because it was so much fun. My kind of people, for sure. So I just appreciate you guys' hearts and just commitment to It Works, and just it's a privilege to work with you guys. So thank you guys for having me, and hi to everybody on this call. I love to just kind of peek through and see you guys on there hanging out, and it just makes it really fun for me to get to see your faces, and sometimes even if it's a profile picture only, I get to see at least who I'm talking to, so that's awesome. And I'm excited to be here. So you guys, I live in Tennessee, and like Kim said, I've got 4 little boys that are 10, 8, 5, and 10 months now. And so it's kind of a crazy household. It's kind of, I like to say it was like WrestleMania, full of boys, house full of boys, and then somebody threw a baby on top, just kind of crazy town. But it's still super fun. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And so just so you guys have a little bit of background, let me see if I can get my video on here too. Okay. Sorry, it looks like blank wall behind me, but got to be somewhere quiet. I grew up in this little tiny town in Michigan. Okay. Like I'm talking 5,000 people, like not a big town, lots of cornfields, lots of animals, kind of a farm community. But I grew up and got the chance to see my dad go from working a boring 9 to 5 and just kind of this mundane kind of thing that he was doing to getting involved in a network marketing company. And so I got to see him work really hard and run really hard with this business and kind of come alive. Like I remember during that season just thinking, wow, my dad's really cool. Like he's more fun right now, and he's going after these big goals and these big dreams, and he's growing as an individual, and doing some self-development and learning how to speak in front of people. And then all of a sudden we got to see some changes in our finances. And I remember as a kid, my parents sitting us down and saying, hey guys, there were 4 of us kids. And they're like, we don't know what to do because we got to the end of the month and we have money left over. What do you guys think we should do with it? You know, and us kids being like, I don't know, what should we do? And, just one time I got to pick, and we gave some money to our youth group leaders so they could get their 5 kids glasses, like just stuff where I got to see our family making a difference in other people's lives, and giving back, and just able to grow as a family and have a little, margin, you know what I mean? Like in our lives. So, I guess long story short, my dad's upline in that company was Mark Pentecost. And so I got to see, Mark go from teaching my older sister's math classes, and coaching our little basketball team in our town to he was like the talk of the town, you guys. Like there was this buzz. They're like, oh my gosh, Mark Pentecost is doing so great in this company. And, now he just quit his teaching job. And it was just like unheard of, really unheard of at the time. And my dad was going along with him. My dad was his runner, and I got to see just, those changes I told you guys about already in our family. But then it went on to pay for all of my private university and my brother's private university that he went to, and just debt free out of school. And it allowed me to just launch into life in this way that I never would have been able to do, and so it was really cool for me too, just to get to see the Pentecost family go from living in this just very humble house in our little tiny town, and watching them grow in their network marketing company and do so well and be very, very successful, to have the ability then to start It Works back in 2001. And just all the lives that they've changed and the success that they've had. And, just to get to see their island and think, where I saw them come from to where they are now, and there's the obvious things that we see. There's the success, and just the things that It Works is doing in people's lives. But there's also the part that maybe not everybody sees. And that's that, their integrity has remained the same all these years. Like I got to see them, when they didn't have a lot, and they were still loving, they were still giving, they were still people of their word. And that I get to see that now, even after success, that's just magnified, that those good things about them are still true, has been awesome, And so, we had 3 of our little boys, and my husband and I were both in full-time ministry, when I came across the business again and thought for the first time that maybe it was something I wanted to do. That was in 2011. And, I knew I had a brain cell for the industry. I had a huge belief in it because I saw my dad do it. I had an automatic trust in the Pentecost family. But it took us being in a place where we really needed that extra income for me to jump on board with It Works. And so we got to that place. We had been in ministry at this location for 7 years, I think at the time, without any raises, no change in our pay. And we got to the place where we're like, we have 3 kids right now. We have 3 more mouths to feed. That happened within the time that we had no raises, no increase. And we're just we love doing ministry, but we knew like, we're never going to be able to stay for these kids' college. Like we're barely able to feed them and diaper them, and so I got involved and got excited, and without having any experience on my own, just made it happen. My upline was Cammie. She was in Michigan. I was in Arizona, and, just started all by myself out there, really, like there was nobody that I knew at all in Arizona doing it. We didn't have the party pad. We didn't have, training academy. Like we didn't have it, but what we did have was excitement. We had a really cool product, and, we're getting some marketing materials online, and some stuff was starting to happen, and so just got excited, you guys. I had a party at my house with 4 people, and 4 girlfriends came over. I remember one of them showed up. She thought we were wrapping presents. Like she didn't read the information at all. She just showed up. Somehow she still had $25 and wrapped that night and saw some great results. And the rest was kind of history, by that night, all four became my customers. By the next morning, 3 of the 4 texted me and said, hey, I want in on this. Like, this is exciting. You're excited. You said your dad did this before. Let's do it, And so we got excited, and I ran hard with some of those girls and, some of the people that came on early in my business. And I saw some very quick success within 4 months. our business income with It Works had surpassed our combined family income. So all that we were making in 2 full-time positions, with master's level and bachelor's level education, like just mind blowing what it could do. And so my husband and I looked at each other and we were like, what do we have our hands on? Like this is life changing. And so we set after a goal to be able to give our income back to church and yet continue in ministry. And so we started that process. And after a year with It Works, we gave back 50% of our income. And then after the second year, we gave back the rest, and we're able to continue to serve and do ministry without having to draw a paycheck, which was a really good feeling. And so here we are. It's been 6 years, since then, or since we started, I guess. And it's just given us so much freedom. We have been able to move across country and help with some other startup ministries and startup churches, and just kind of pour the experience and the heart we have for ministry into the places where we feel like God's called us to do that, And so I just can't tell you the amount of freedom that we've had, the years we've had where our kids get the best of our days, both my husband and myself, and yet we are able to pour into ministry, which is what our passion is. And at the same time, build a business that we get to work with people all over the country and all over the world that are going after huge goals, that are bettering themselves, and they're growing as leaders, and they're growing their faith, and so it's just been such a joy for us, you guys, to be a part of this company. And then, since March, I've been in this corporate role. So I know just what it's like to be in your shoes as a business builder, but now I've entered into a role where I get to support you guys and be a part of the field development team, where our job is to make sure you're recognized, to make sure that you have the tools in your hands to build a successful business with us. And, hopefully you guys have been seeing lots of good stuff come out, all the BOGOs and the revamped party pad, and just a lot of the tools and things that you see come out are things that they're allowing us to have input in, where we can say, like, look, we were just sitting at a party with someone last week and this worked really well. And just some of that kind of stuff has been really cool to be able to marry kind of the field with the corporate, office. And so that's been really, really fun. And just, Kim, you mentioned the simplicity of the business. I mean, when I got started, I literally had no idea what I was doing, but I was just running on excitement, and just getting excited about the product and the business. And now I believe more than ever right now is the best time to build a business with It Works. We have the system down to such a simple science, with the steps of success, with the way the party pad is laid out right now, with the fact that you can build online, offline, in your home, one-on-one, parties, vendor events. I mean, there's so many options for you, but yet the system is still so simple. And if we keep it simple and we keep it duplicatable, we can build such a strong business that really is a long-term business, and that's how I want you guys to think about this is, it is simple. It's a simple system, but it is going to take you putting some hard work in and putting in some commitment, as well, and just kind of planting your flag and going with it. But it's also something that can be around forever, because we're a family-owned business. We know that the owners are building this for their children's children, and I believe that with my whole heart. I believe that that's what makes me want to pour my heart into this company on a daily basis over and over, because I see the difference that we're making. And I believe in the vision, I believe in what they're offering us, and I'm blown away, you guys. Since being on the corporate side of things, I'm blown away at how much they consider you with every decision that's made, with every BOGO that's put out there, every $9.99 business builder kit, that was purchased, and just all these things that they're offering. They're thinking of you. Like when I'm sitting in meetings and I'm overhearing conversations, and it's not like, how do we get our sales up? That's not the goal. The goal is, we love our team. We love our people. How do we help them promote? How do we help them get those bonuses and pay off debt? How do we support these families that are putting their trust in us? How do we defend them and fight for them and help them to move forward? And that's the heart, that's behind this corporate team and this company. And so I just want to encourage you guys tonight that you're in a great place. You are in a great place with It Works, and we are headed some amazing directions, and we just had the biggest month of the year so far in July. And that's really exciting, because I believe that the end of this quarter and going into the last quarter of the year that we're going to see some crazy things. And I'm telling you guys right now, they have stuff planned to keep the momentum going throughout the rest of the year. They're setting it up just for so much success. And so I couldn't be more excited about where we are and what we have our hands on. The system that we have in place, but also just the momentum that we're seeing, and the grit, honestly, of the people that I get to see working on a regular basis. I'm with teams all over the country, and I am seeing people that are fighting. They're fighting for their families. They're fighting for their goals. And they're finding a way, even in the midst of a world that can have its ups and downs, to build a business from home, many times from a cell phone, right? And so that's what we have our hands on. It's an amazing, amazing opportunity, you guys, that I just believe in with my whole heart. And I'm excited to be here and to get to do it with you guys. So
I think, for new distributors, it's hard for them to see, look at an income chart and say that, that they can be at the very top and make that kind of money. Can you put into perspective, that it is possible, but like you said earlier, you do have to put in the work. It's not just to sign up, pay your $99 or your $9.99, and then the rest will just fall into place. It does take some work and time and patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I know, when I got started, I signed up in November, and it was right after Thanksgiving. And I remember I had a friend that was going to host a party for me. And I kept waiting for this friend to come through hosting the party. She's like, I'm going to do it. And I'm just waiting and waiting for this girl to host her party. And the holidays came and went. She still didn't host the party. And I was like, you know what? Dang it. I'm going to do my own party. And so what happened was, we have two start dates. We have the day that we sign in the computer, and we have the day that we actually decide to start working this thing. And I wanted to work it from the beginning, but I was waiting. I was waiting for the perfect scenario. I was waiting for my friend that had tons of friends and tons of influence to host this perfect party for me. And what happened was I missed my, I didn't get my 4 customers my first 30 days. I missed it. I'm sure Cammie was probably like, this girl's going to do nothing. She probably thought I was a complete dud. But at some point I realized, if this is going to happen, I'm going to have to make it happen. No one's going to build this for me. I didn't even have parties that I could plug into locally, and I wasn't building on social media, and so I really did just decide I had to do something, and to make it work somehow. And so, I was so busy, you guys, and so many of us have this excuse, but I was busy. I had an infant, a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a full-time job. We had something every night of the week for church. But what happened was this: I put a date on the calendar. I invited my friends over. I gave them about a week notice at the most. Okay. I just was like, dang it, I'm doing it. And had them over for that first party that I told you about. And after that point, when I saw their excitement and I saw them try a wrap, you guys, this is huge. If you haven't put a wrap on someone yet, or not in a while, that's what keeps your faith growing in these products, in this business. So get a wrap on someone. But when I got to see that, I started to find time to work this business that I didn't even know existed. I really did. I stopped watching TV at night with my husband and just, watch until late at night, falling asleep and getting up the next day and trying to function. I stopped doing that. I started using those moments after the kids were in bed, or during nap times, or, on a lunch break, or running from here to there, to get on the phone and talk to people about my business. And when I tell you we passed our income in 4 months, it was because we hustled. It was because we worked, and we didn't have to have any special skill set. It's not like we had been through any training. We hadn't even been to an event quite yet. But we put that work in, Kim, just like you're saying. I mean, I was doing all the parties, but my husband had kids every night of the week by that point, and I remember being in worship rehearsals and putting loyal customer orders in when the band would stop to fix part in the song, it's busy and it's crazy. But this season when you're just getting to work is so worth it. It's worth it. And so if you're on here today and you're new and you're trying to decide if you're going to get started, or maybe you've been in for a while and you're stalled out and you're, trying to get that mojo back, I just encourage you guys to just make a decision today that like, I am going to work it. I am going to schedule a party and just commit to it and have to get people there. I am going to do an online party and put it out there and start inviting individually and, that kind of thing, because really, whether or not you're going to succeed, it's a decision that you got to make. Are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? And it is going to take some work, but it's a simple system that you can do if you'll put your mind to it, So, yeah.
Yeah. And all that to me, like, is just right in line with, what we say all the time. But like what I heard you say over and over again throughout this whole entire thing is about the excitement. And that just really, to me, bleeds into anything, that is connected to success. If I'm excited, it makes other people excited. And that genuine excitement is very, very contagious. And I mean, just being around you, like, when we were around you that first time, you were so excited. When I was around you in Jacksonville, you were so excited. You can feel that genuine excitement, and people feed off of that, and I just really want to encourage everybody on here to really listen to that, and keep the excitement, even when your excitement can be kind of like pushed down sometimes because of just a no. Sometimes that happens to us. Like, we're all excited, and then someone's like, no, and then it's like, and then it's like, you go to somebody else, you're so excited, and they might, shut you down too. And then sometimes that excitement can die down. And even if you're trying to pretend like you're excited, people are going to know that you're pretending. You have to keep that genuine excitement no matter what is going on outside of, your vision, and where I can, continue to have my excitement is in what Mary Beth is saying about this company. If you guys are new, you probably, haven't experienced this yet, but I mean, we've been doing this for a while now, and just the genuine love for people within this is just, to me, what always will keep me excited. Because that is my drive, is people, and so if maybe yours isn't people, find what it is, and I guarantee you it will be connected in some sort of way within this company and the vision this company has for each of us. So I just wanted to just piggyback off of that, because I think that excitement can come from so many different places. Whereas, like, mine in the beginning was, I was so excited about money, whereas now, yes, money still will excite me, but my excitement really lies within this company and the people. That's what continues to keep me excited. So, if you guys have been in this for a while and you're looking for that genuine excitement, I would encourage you to find that within something. I just wanted to say that really quick. Sorry.
I love it. That makes so much sense.
Mary Beth, what are three tips that you would give someone that's new, and then someone who's been in, just say, like, I don't know, like a year or a few, 6 months to a couple of years? Because I know it's we all do the same thing. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same steps of success, but your three tips may look different for someone who's just getting started versus someone who's been in for a little while.
Yeah. I think for somebody new getting started, I think it's so important to, get some dates on the calendar, first of all, and just, you've got to set a deadline. I think it's Walt Disney that said, everyone needs deadlines. We all do. So get out print a calendar if you don't have one. And some of you want to use a Google Calendar or whatever, that's fine. But just get some dates down where you're actually committing that here's where I'm going to launch my business. Here's where I'm going to do that first party. And here's where I'm going to do that first online party. Here's when, I'm going to wrap somebody. Getting some dates down on the calendar, giving yourself some deadlines can be absolutely huge. So number one, that. Number two, get to an event. Get to a One Team, One Mission. get to a boot camp. We've got 2 more still this year. Plan on being at a conference when it comes around in February. This is huge for your business. It's so important. I can't tell you the amount of people I run into that say, if I hadn't got to this certain event, I would not be in this business still. I would not be where I am in this business, you know? So I think that's so, so key. And then thirdly, just start to open your mouth. You know, start opening your mouth, start talking about your business. And it's just so, so important that you just allow yourself to do that and add it to your everyday life. You know, like it's going to look different for everybody. That's okay. There's tons of ways to build it, but just start talking about it. Start sharing your Blitz cards, start posting about it in your conversations, allow it to come up, you know. And I want to backtrack just a little bit because number 2, along with events, just that personal development piece is so, so important, you know, to what we do. And that's for newbies and for veterans, you know, always investing in yourself personally. And I think really, if you can look at a pie and split it into 3 giant pieces, number 1, one piece should be personal development. A third of your time. That's a lot of time, right? Most of us aren't doing that. A third of your time needs to be recruiting people for your business, customers, distributors, and a third of your time needs to be supporting the customers and distributors that you already have in the business that you already have. So if you think of it that way, you know, you really do need a lot of personal development as part of growing a healthy business. And it's really gonna, I know sometimes it seems like you're being unproductive, right? If you're spending that time like reading or listening to something instead of maybe calling people or some of the other things that can seem more productive. But I promise you, as you raise your leadership lid and you get better at leadership and you grow yourself as a person, you're gonna attract really high quality people, you know, into your business. And that's gonna make a big difference. And you can't measure that. That's something that you can't measure. But if you continue to grow yourself, that's going to really help to grow just kind of the quality of people that you're bringing into your business, if that makes sense. And then just to speak to the veterans, the ones that have been in a while, you know, obviously everything that I just said can apply to you, but I would also say this, that if you're somebody who's been in for a while and maybe you're not where you want to be yet, or maybe, you know, you hit a rank and you've kind of fallen back a little bit, you haven't been working or something happened in your business, I just want to say to you guys that, you know, you bring so much experience. You bring life experience into this, but now you also bring business experience. You know what it's like to promote, some of you, right? You've done it. You know what it took you to get there. And you probably know what you need to do to get back there or to go beyond, right? To promote again. And I just want to say that, you know, you're not starting over. You're starting from a place of so much experience, and all these tools that you bring with you from what you've done, from what you've seen, from what you've learned from. And so I just, you know, think of everything you've done up to this point as practice for these moments, for this time where you can really just decide to invest yourself, to throw yourself back into this wholeheartedly and go after it again like it's the very first time, you know? So that's just my encouragement, you know, to you guys that have been around for a while, to just decide you're going to get after it and get after it. You know what you need to do. You know, I probably talked to 4 or 5 people on the phone today, and every one of them just about said the words, I know what I need to do, right? We know what we need to do to build this business. We have the tools, we have the training academy, we have the tips, we have, you know, we've got a lot of this stuff. It's a decision within you where you're going to just say, okay, I'm doing it. I'm ready, you know? And so I think it's a good season to do that right now. I think, you know, there's going to be continual, just awesome offerings coming from corporate all year long. They're not going to stop. They're not going to slow down. So this is a time for you guys to grab a hold of it and go after it. Whether you're new, whether you've been in for a while, you need to make that decision and you need to go for it.
I agree. I feel like mindset is so much of this business. I mean, probably I would say like 80% of it. For me, getting to events, you know, when I do have, because we all experience seasons in our business where, you know, we feel like we're in a slump, or, you know, we're, you know, it's not in the forefront of our mind, you know, 24/7. But when I get to an event, it just rekindles all of my excitement all over again. And so I'm excited to see you in Nashville in September, because we're going to be there. Are you going to be doing another book club?
You know what, actually, I think Aspen's going to be offering one coming up really soon. We're in the fall. She's going to be doing a John Maxwell book. So I think that's going to be the next thing. I don't have dates or anything on that yet, but I already told Cami, I'm like, I'm itching to do another one already. So yes, we'll do another one. And my Chase the Lion, I saw Jen just wrote something about that in there, is on YouTube. So if anybody wants to pull that up on YouTube, you can see all of those on there, and you can read that book along with it. And just, there's like six YouTube recordings, and I kept them all to about 30 minutes, but just pulling out stuff out of that book, Chase the Lion by Mark Batterson, that would apply to business, to personal life, to spiritual life, you know, all that stuff. So
awesome. Yes, I didn't realize it was on YouTube. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Mary Beth? I think you can unmute yourself if you do, or you can type in the chat. Nicole, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm just so thankful that you took the time out to do this, and we just really appreciate it so much. I'm always just very inspired by you, and it's like, you know, they said before, Kayla said that it's very, your excitement is very contagious, and I just love your spirit. So thank you so much for doing this for us tonight. And if nobody has any questions, then we can wrap this up, ladies.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mary Beth.
You're welcome, girls. It was my privilege. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.